Hey, Dragon Con 2017, Crispy here, and we've got Matt with us. Matt, thank you for joining us, my friend. First Dragon Con.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited for your experience. What have you heard about us? So let's be clear here.
Well, it's like a mixture of encouragements and warnings at the same time. It's just basically...
That's accurate.
I have been doing cons for a long time so far, so basically anybody I've met at another con said, oh, Dragon Con, yeah, that's a whole other beast. That's like massive.
Do they start to trail up like, oh, Dragon Con?
Ooh, Dragon Con.
About that.
No, it's a lot of, oh, Dragon Con.
Genuine, good cover, yes.
So, so far, yeah, everybody's prophecies are turning out to be true. It's massive. People are super into it, and I love it. You know? I just love being in this kind of atmosphere. It's really gratifying.
With you being, you mentioned you're new to conventions. Has it been really great just interacting with the fans and just getting into this environment? Like, if you've never been to a convention, it's hard to explain the energy that's in these things.
It is.
So,
I honestly didn't know what to expect, and I never went to conventions myself, you know? So I've been to some really small ones, I've been to some really big ones, and invariably the uniting factor there is like, people love this stuff and they love being part of this community. You know, I've seen different people at different the same person at different cons, I should say. It's like, it's a community. And I was saying earlier, it's like people are allowed to let their freak flag fly, do their thing. They all respect each other for it, and they like what you've done. They like welcome what you've done, what I've done as an actor. And that's always awesome. You know? When you feel like
you're the dream at that point. You know?
When you feel like you've done something positive in somebody's life, that's a good thing.
I'm curious from a weird note here, because obviously, you know, Flash and Legends has kind of been a huge thing lately, which has been crazy. Let's just be clear. But have you had the person who's come up to your table and talked about Eli Stone yet? Has that happened?
I have. I've also I've had the Eli Stone fans, and they're hardcore. They remember.
They're still here.
They carry the torch for Eli. I've had the Mask of Zorro fans.
Oh God, yes,
I've had a dude at one convention show up with like just all this like trading cards with my Mask of Zorro character on it, like weird stuff that I never knew existed. Apparently they're out there. So it's really cool to have those kind of interactions.
Have you started collecting your own action figures or Funko Pops or anything like that?
The Reverse Flash.
Let your fly, let it fly. You know?
Right. The Reverse Flash Pops, I've kind of started. Actually, I mean, I have my own, but then that seems to be the thing that kids most like to receive. So I've got like a whole shelf of them at home, and if there's a birthday, it's like sign
Here's
it,
the
send
pop.
it off. Exactly.
The pops, you know, I've been saying for years, and now the internet's it's like the new generation Beanie Babies.
That's pretty much it.
And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to say that I have an entire room at home that's a wall of pops
of a new generation of Beanie Babies.
It's really embarrassing, but in the best way possible. You know, it's like we had this extra room, and it's just like, what do we do with it? My roommate and I are like, I guess we put up all of our action figures in Funko Pops.
I guess we
sure, you know. And it is probably I've worked this convention for 17 years, and it's probably the nerdiest room I've ever been in my life. So
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's like that over at. I did a tour of DC Comics at one point, and everybody's office is like that. Yeah. Because they're all fans too.
Yeah, they're all
fans.
And
so their shelves are all loaded with just paraphernalia.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Do you have a good luck one that like you just carry with you? Do you have your trading card? You're like,
well, I actually have a ring.
Okay.
I actually do have a good luck one.
You have the ring.
I have the Reverse Flash ring.
That is awesome.
I sort of think of as my little charm.
That's your kind of piece there.
Yeah.
Well, aside from obviously like the nerdier stuff, is there like a particular fandom that you get involved with? Is there like a TV show that you watch, or a comic, or a book series? What's your geekery? Where does your freak flag fly?
Oh, that's interesting. You know, I wasn't a comic book kid growing up, but I was a fantasy fiction kid.
I'm on board,
like Lord of the Rings, you know, multiple readings of Lord of the Rings. When I was younger, all the Wizard of Oz books.
Oh yeah,
the Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum. I mean, all of them. It was an obsession of mine. And then there were, a bunch of other, the Harry Potter series. Since I've had kids,
Yeah.
I've read the Harry Potter series with them.
Oh, that's
and,
wonderful.
you know, I was like sitting there sobbing in book 7 with everybody else.
It's okay, honey, I'm going to read in a second. You know?
I mean, and the thing that unites a lot of these stories, and the thing that that attracts me to them, and the reason I think they're so important, is the unifying theme is sort of like the family you choose, or the meaning of friendship. You know, I mean, that sort of banding together to face the worst kind of odds, and having nothing to rely on but each other, you know, and not turning your back on that. Like that kind of message, that kind of vibe, I'm super into.
That explains why you like conventions.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I think that's a beautiful parallel.
Yeah.
You have that community, you have that camaraderie, you have that support. The family you choose is obviously a common conversation I have with a lot of friends. Today they're like, yes, I've got my blood family, they're my family.
Right.
But they're my family.
Right.
You guys are the ones that I love them, but you're like, let's hang out.
Yeah.
And Dragon Con is a huge focal network for that. So I hope this being your first time, you're going to get to go out, see some of that.
Oh,
and
I
things
am.
like that. Because I know you're going to be really busy during the day.
Yeah.
But at night people are already yelling for exactly. It gets crazy in here at Saturday.
Yeah. So I got in last night, which was Thursday, and my hotel was already jammed with people, and there were contests happening on every floor. It was crazy.
We here, right where we're sitting, every Thursday night, and I keep saying this a couple of times, we do a countdown to DragonCon. It's an unofficial New Year's celebration. Like we start counting down. It's like it's almost midnight. Like the electricity starts to build. We do the 10, and then everyone's like, "Welcome to DragonCon." It's like a total New Year's vibe.
That's awesome.
And that's one of those things that was never planned.
Right.
It's just evolved. It just
evolved.
Was, yeah. And now if you ever get here on a Wednesday, not that you will, but even on Wednesday now, people like 2 days before the convention.
Love it.
We're already here. So
Love it.
I hope you have a good home here.
Thank you.
Get out there. Do you do any, this is the fun question, costumes of your own? Is that of interest to you, or you're like, that's my job, that's my personal life?
You know, that's a great. It's
where's
really
that demarcation?
true.
Yeah.
It's like that is my job. Like things like this is gonna sound so lame. But costumes. Like Halloween is like the most boring holiday, and my kids love it, and I'm just like, oh God, no! I dress up all the time. Can I have one night where I don't dress?
No crazy costumes today.
Yeah, that and buying clothing for myself. Yeah, it's terrible. But it's just like I'm so used to other people dressing me. It's like I'm an infant when I go into a clothing store.
I don't know what to do.
I have zero sense of style.
Yeah,
I'm only an amalgam of what other designers have decided I'm supposed to look like.
That's an interesting. I've never really considered that before because I mean, you go to set. Here's your wardrobe, and they're like, now I'm at home. What do I do?
Even stuff like haircuts.
Yeah.
I mean, my hair is kind of long right now.
Yeah.
Tells you I haven't worked in a couple of months.
For me, this was a haircut 2 days ago because I'm in that, but I'm like, I don't know how to look.
Right.
We'll just buzz it down, haha, and we're present-ish. So we're gonna start wrapping things up before we get going, Matt, because I know we got a busy day. My friend Randall here has a random question from the audience. No pressure, but dig it deep into that bowl and let's find you a random question. Let's see what we can find here.
I'm gonna take a yellow one. All right.
All right.
Oh, this is actually a great question.
Yes.
And it's something I might have to think about for a second.
Oh,
I know what it was. When was the last time you did something for the first time?
Ooh, I really like that one.
I just got certified to scuba dive.
That's awesome.
So I just, for the first time, went scuba diving with my whole family. We all got certified together. And was like 70 feet under the water in the ocean, diving on reefs in a little island called Bonaire in the Caribbean. And it is, at first, I tend to be kind of a little anxiety-ridden, let's say, when it comes to those sort of things. I think claustrophobic first, rather than, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
But I opened up right away, and it's
You just dove in.
It's so to speak.
Yes.
I just dove in.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible experience under there. So I would highly recommend it for anybody.
As someone who shares that anxiety, just describing that made me like sweaty palms. I'm like, this sounds terrible, but I'm like, but it also sounds gorgeous. I'm conflicted.
I get claustrophobic just putting on the reverse flash cowl.
God, like, how tight is that?
It's latex and it sticks to your skin.
Field,
yeah,
right?
it's made for your head. So you can't hear the other actors.
No.
All you can hear is your own heart beating in your ears. It's like the recipe for a complete panic attack.
Yeah, that sounds both terrifying, but at the same time, from a comedy standpoint, I imagine you guys have some really fun like miscues. Like, oh no, I'm sorry,
don't get me started.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, it's endless.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we're supposed to be in some really. And you know, in superhero shows, a lot of people tend to talk like this. And so you can't really hear that.
Wait, what?
You're like, wait, what?
I'm supposed to be afraid of you?
That's right. What are you trying to tell me here?
Just point a gun.
Forget it. I'm just going to phase you. Yeah. I'm tired of waiting.
On that note, Matt, thank you so much for your time today.
It's really my pleasure.
And it's our pleasure as well. So Dragon Con, go check him out on the Walk of Fame, all of his panels, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Dragon Con.